Welcome to Owls After Dark. We call this After Dark because owls do some of their best thinking at night. These are quick bonus episodes where Kristen and Katie talk about love, life, and the pursuit of happiness. On today's episode, we are talking about waiting and the discomfort that comes along with being patient and waiting for his plan, the universe's plan, whatever you want to call it. Kristen,
whatever your higher being is.
whatever that is for you. Kristen, where do you find the struggle in the waiting?
Just waiting itself is so hard. Like, I'm currently waiting and it is so uncomfortable. So I moved back in with my parents. I'm looking for a job. I don't basically own anything. I am currently, we're hours after dark, but we're in the morning right now. I'm in my parents' sunroom. And it feels just so uncomfortable to not have a car, not have my own place, not have a job. Like, it's really uncomfortable. But like you said, I am very much, what I do is I rely heavily on faith. And so I know God has a bigger plan for me and it's coming, but like you said, waiting is so uncomfortable. But I'm just praying and trying to do a daily routine to kind of get me through this waiting period.
Yeah. I've been there where you've moved back in and own nothing. I did have a car, but I didn't really have any other belongings.
Right.
And when I look back, what I wish I would have told myself in that waiting time was, you're not going to have this time with your mom ever again. You won't have time with your grandmother like this again. I mean, that was really the last summer that my grandmother somewhat loosely knew what was going on.
Right.
Grandma and I she knew I was a nice lady that would hang out with her. And after that, Grandma declined pretty bad, where she didn't know who I was, nor did she want to hang out with me.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I spent that summer with my aunt and her boyfriend. Boyfriend's a weird word. Her partner, 10 plus years. Just family time that I never would have had. And I didn't always appreciate it. I had moments where I recognized, this is why you're here. You will never have this again. But I felt that like unrest and the like fighting the waiting is kind of what I call it, where instead of enjoying the pause and enjoying the things that come when you have to wait for what you want, it's just a struggle. I was an up and down. It was hard to stay with God and with his plan when you just want to move forward.
Like we said in the beginning, it's hard. It's very uncomfortable, feeling uncomfortable. Nobody likes to feel like this. But I think that when I do really feel like this, like I'm arguing with my mom about something, I just try to channel that. Like, hopefully, I hope I never get this time again, right? I'm transitioning careers right now. Like, I never want this time again, and I'm still recovering from a stroke. Like, no, I never want to recover from a stroke again. But, I'm back home with my parents. I've been away for 10 years, and it is nice to be home with them. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to come back home and I have somebody to fall back on, like my parents. They were able to come out to Denver, help me move, and support me, not even just emotionally and financially, but they're just there for everything. Like, every night my dog died, and they're here to cheer me on and make me get up when I feel very weak. And I feel blessed, honestly, that I'm able to come home and be with them and spend the summer with my family. I haven't really seen anyone because of fucking COVID, but that's another story. God.
Yeah. I moved back with my family and no one I knew lived there. So I made friends at the CrossFit gym. I found the one girl that was from Chicago who would move there. She was a pediatrician, which I'll see her when I come to visit you, Chloe, Dr. Chloe Salasmith. I don't remember her married name now, but she's great. I love that today our guest had mentioned, if you're not where you're supposed to be, it's very uncomfortable. And I think about that for me and my waiting, because I just also lost my job and transitioning, but it's not my first time. It's not my second time. And then this time I didn't put a key into the gym that I actually owned and have the locks changed. So
that's a plus.
It's a plus, but also perspective. Like, this waiting and what I'm in, I do have days where I struggle. Yesterday was one of them where I was really just struggling with the world and what's happening and what does that, COVID has already put things on pause, but also opened so many other doors. But what resonated with me is that it was uncomfortable where I was.
What do you do on those bad days?
What do I do on those bad days? So I started a gratitude blog, and yesterday I was unable to complete for the first day. So I had 4 days of gratitude blog that I wrote in a row, and I rewrote a gratitude blog. I think I just got in my head. I overthought it. I woke up today and was like grateful. I woke up today. I have some, it's funny, you talk about memes. There's some things I follow on Instagram that are inspiring of like, what does the universe want for you today? Right. Yesterday, we had a guest on that said, the universe is here for me. And I just, I think waking up and just recognizing tomorrow is going to be a different day versus waking up and having to still feel that same heaviness.
Sure.
Because for me, it was hard to think about moving things forward in my life when the world is burning.
Oh yeah. There's so much going on that's bigger than we are.
Right. And so who am I to think that I should be pushing trying to put a podcast together or, write about gratitude. I was really struggling with that. And it was nice to hear someone on our show today talk about if you're not where you're supposed to be, it's very uncomfortable, because sitting in my office is not uncomfortable. This is great. Right. I wake up, I have a window view now. Where I was before COVID hit was uncomfortable. It wasn't where I was supposed to be. I think about you in Denver.
Right.
I wasn't on our first call. You're like, I want to get the fuck out of here. It wasn't right. Where you were supposed to be. The damn city gave you a stroke.
Right. It was time to leave. And I think there's power in being uncomfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's power. And a big part of that power is recognizing when things aren't for you. And like, is this something?
And to stop trying to force it. I often find myself doing that. Like, if it was in my plan, like, I still think about going back to TV, and then I have to remind myself, like, okay, if you're going to go back, then the right job will come along. You'll either stay in Chicago or you won't. And if TV's not it for you anymore, you'll transition to something else. And I try to really hold on to that. Like, maybe it's not for you. So stop forcing it.
Yeah. What moments do you enjoy about waiting?
I think there's like a calmness sometimes. Like, if you really embrace the waiting, like right now I don't have to do anything but get up and do this podcast and work out and continue to work on my recovery. And I think I really take solace in knowing that it's okay to be calm. It's okay to nap and relax during the day. You don't have to go. But if you really embrace being calm or finding like what you find out of what's good for you out of being uncomfortable, it could be more positive.
I love that you just said, I don't really have anything to do. I just have to get up and do a podcast and focus on my recovery and do yoga. Like, we're so conditioned to think that we don't have anything to do if we're only doing things that bring us joy.
Right. Like, I feel happy right now. If I'm being honest, like, how do I feel? I feel happy. I'm with my family. I'm healthy now. I'm able to move all 4 limbs. Like, what I think about this time last year, it was like a dark place, and I'm in a totally different place. I'm happy, and that's something I think I can hold on to.
Yeah. Sometimes I think about, for a reframe of, I'm not waiting, you're not waiting, like, we're in the journey.
Right.
And so if you're not enjoying the journey, then what the fuck are you waiting for? Like,
right. No,
someone that's arrived at the gym I wanted, right? Like, we started in a garage that didn't have fucking heat in the winter, and that damn toilet was janky, and there was no office. And so to finally arrive and be like, man, did I enjoy the journey? Did I enjoy the parts that felt like I was waiting for the next thing?
Right.
And that's why, for me, I just say I'm going to get up tomorrow and, those thoughts are done. Like, I think they're,
like, you give yourself your day to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get in your head. I think I would prefer to not give myself a day. I prefer to give myself an hour, whatever it is. But it's okay to grieve with the world, particularly when, tomorrow I'm going to ask people in the world to grieve with me as I celebrate 2 years of my mom passing away. So,
How do you feel like during this time while you are in transition? It's like, layer upon layer.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm right where I need to be. And that's sort of my new
love that.
embrace and my new reframe for waiting. Tom Petty's waiting is the hardest part. Like, I am the most impatient person when it comes to myself. And even yesterday, like feeling impatient and feeling unrest, there's still a lot of joy in the fact that I don't have to deal with what's happening in the world right now and and my mom's anniversary and a job I don't enjoy.
Right.
And so waiting for me for the next thing looks like being able to grieve and take the day I need. And then waiting's pretty great.
Have you ever felt like that before, that you're right where you need to be?
Yes, I have. And I think it's those moments where I don't feel like where I need to be that I get impatient and I don't want to wait.
Right.
Yeah. And those things can blow up. I've seen them blow up for myself at a gym or in other jobs where I'm like, I want to go here. Let's do it. This is right where I'm supposed to be. Like, God wants me to do this thing. And I've realized that sometimes what God wants me to do is just disrupt and then leave.
Right.
But like positive disrupt and, not like a loot and riot jump, disrupt, but more of a use your voice, make a difference, and leave. And I feel good about that. I think
You need to read the book Disruptor. You'll love it.
Okay.
It's all about like disrupting like society's like limitations they put on especially women. It's really good.
Yeah.
But it's like positive disruptness, like you said.
Yeah. I think as women, like we wait a lot. Like we're waiting on men to get their shit together. In my case, I'm waiting on my man to like find his wallet, keys, get the dog ready. Oh, I forgot this.
Oh my God.
So I'm becoming more patient with waiting as I get older.
Maybe that's part of your journey right now, like God trying to teach you patience.
Yeah. So I've said this is the year of patience for me. Because when I started my business the first time, I was not patient, but I was like, it's kind of that there's an ebb and flow of the being patient and like, nope, it's time to push forward and being patient. But I've allowed myself to enjoy more of the times where I have to be patient. Like even with working with someone on a podcast who's not in the same city as you, and someone that
girl, you're waiting for me all the damn time.
Right. You're recovering from a brain injury. And I'm like, there's so much value in where we are today because things didn't go as quickly as I wanted, or maybe as quickly as you wanted. We are right where we need to be with this podcast. So
I think so. I mean, I think about how much we've grown since February. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's a period of waiting. Both of us are waiting for new jobs, or are we? Maybe we're carving it out.
That's such a great point. Or are we?
Yeah.
Maybe we're not. Wouldn't it be amazing that this is it? Wake up, do a podcast. Cool. We have the day. Got a couple client calls. I'm referring to you. Maybe me one day. I'm going to take a nap after this.
Yeah. Yesterday when we were talking, you had said, like the four of us, like, we're just gonna not work. Like, we're just gonna do this thing. Like, this is work. This is what it was like to own a gym. This is what it was like when I was passionate about teaching before the government kept telling me I had to do different things differently. So when I was a good teacher, every day doesn't feel like work. And and so let's enjoy the waiting and see whatever it is the universe has to offer us.
I love that. Let's enjoy the waiting. Perfect place to end. I love that so much.
Yes, in the dark or with the lights on. You choose. Thanks for tuning into our bonus episode today. We hope that you enjoy the wait for the next.
And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast.
Yes, that's right. We are on iTunes and Podbean. And if you subscribe, you will know before social media knows when our episodes are out.
Yep.
No more waiting for you.